Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. I got nobody. What? You told me it was Saturday night. Hello, and welcome again to the video calling show. That show that invites you, yes, you, to be a live studio guest at any time. A live video guest, I should say, at any time on this show. Talk about anything you'd like to talk about. Jumping on is easy. When I open up the video lines, you see that link right there. Use that or use the one in the description, and that'll get you right on the show. Tonight, first of all, if that sounds like fun, if you watched my videos and you dig it, why not smash that subscribe button right now? Ring that bell, and so you don't miss a thing. I am your host, Jim, and I am here to learn and listen to you. But before we open up the video lines, I just want to talk a few house cleaning things. I wasn't on last night. I sincerely apologize. I actually had it all ready to go, and I was and I was called away at the last minute. I don't want to get into details because that's gory and not very fun. So we'll just leave it at that. Just know that I totally thank you, Snowy Rains. Someone actually forgives me. Thank you, Snowy. It was mandatory. I had no choice. I had to do what I had to do. It is what it is. And like that, tonight is it's a wild card. It's another one of my free Fridays, right? Talk about anything. I'm going to ramble for just a little bit of house cleaning things in addition to what I just said. And that would include Wednesday night. Some of you already know, some of my regular viewers already know that I ended up helping Muscle Car Appraiser, his channel, in his first live stream. And that was a ton of fun. They had a pretty good show. I'm currently in the process of helping them go out on their own and make sure that they don't need somebody like me. And we're going to work on that next week. So if you haven't checked it out, the last video, let's see, Tuesday's video, we'll have a link in the description, and you guys can go check it out. I think it's Tuesday's show. Otherwise, I may throw one in this description. But yeah, check it out. It's 2 hours long. It's a long show. But if you're into cars and you just want to see how that went down, I would ask you to go take a look at it. What else do we have as house cleaning items? Oh, a second chiropractor trip was today, about 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who are not on Eastern Standard Time, I'm looking at you, Gold Prospect. See, I've done it again. GPTA. And you, Snowy. Two of my Australian friends. The first one's here. How awesome is that? The other ones are thinking, oh, he may not go live tonight. Oh, how wrong they were. It was just a minor setback. Like I said, I had some things I need to take care of right away. And I mean right away. I literally jumped up, and most of you will know. I'll get to that in a minute, Snowy. Most of you already know that, what was it? Oh, I don't even know what I was talking about. Let's go back to the chiropractor. Yeah, the chiropractor went pretty good. I actually got onto that medieval torture device, and what he did was, he did the old crack in the middle of the back, and I've never heard my back snap like that. It cracked about 5 times in one push. It was awesome. And then he of course did the right hip. The first time he did the left hip. This time he did the right hip. He just wanted to cover all bases. Given that my spine is relatively straight, we're going to have to try some things to find out what it is. Dole Whip Dad, how are you? Welcome to the show, my friend. It's a free-for-all Friday, and so I'm just free-forming it tonight. I'm just doing a little house cleaning here, talking about some subjects that we may have missed in the last 2 nights when I wasn't able to go live. I mean, that happens from time to time. Again, this is a hobby for me, so life has to take priority, and I think a lot of people need to look at that. I am actually I'm very good to whip. All the issues that I had after Wednesday's show at Muscle Car Appraisal, which we didn't have any issues. It was a great show, but I had issues all day Thursday, and even though I wanted to come on, I just couldn't last minute. I just absolutely couldn't. So that is what that is. I even had some great subject matter for that too. I was really excited to talk about, and I'm going to save it for another show. But I don't know about you, but I find myself a better writer than I am a speaker. Odd for a guy who decided to jump on a camera, but it's the truth, and I think that would make a very good show. I know a lot of people fancy themselves great orators. I don't fancy myself a great orator. When I'm on here, I'm literally thinking the first thing, or I'm speaking the first thing that comes to my mind, as you can tell, and it just happens. But so many people are better at writing than they are at speaking, and they don't even realize it until they really start thinking about it. So I think it'd be a fun show. At any rate, why am I holding back here? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm actually really excited to try something new at the end of my guest segments. So you'll just have to you'll just have to wait and see. Be honest with you. Let me check something here. Oh yeah. We can make the video lines open.
Headshot.
Let me unlock these puppies. And yes, they are now open. Fast News Blog, if you'd like to call in, by all means, give it a shot, and we'll get you on the show. We're going to do one at a time. Now, again, if you'll see Nightbot pop up occasionally in the chat, and if it says, if you guys, ding ding, awesome. Okay, if you want to come on the show, by all means, hide self view. By all means, let me know, and I'll make it so. Well, that's a unique name, Fast News Blog. Can I see your face? I see your ceiling. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear and see you. Can you hear me, my friend? Well, there's Muscle Car Appraisal in the chat now. How you doing, Jim and or Bob? Great. Yeah. Well, that's not going to make it on camera. Oh, you. I was 10 once too, my friend. I was 10 once too. So anyway, back to where we were. What you didn't see was a young child who mooned me. What are you gonna do? I recognized the ceiling lamp as well. They were on a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. Well, Jim, welcome to the show, man. I'm glad to have you back. You might have missed the head of it. I was, yeah, he was. Yeah, I knew he was a troll, which is why I was cautious. But thanks, thanks, Dole Whip Dad. I appreciate that. Yeah, when I saw Sailing, I saw it last time too. I don't know if you guys caught that that one show. It was when I actually opened it up to several people, and And we had some kids come on, and they thought they were funny, and they asked me if I had Prince Albert in a can, and I said yes, and they said I better let him out. And yeah, but you see that Nightbot post right there. It says if I'm with a guest and you want to be next, just hashtag me. I am ready, and I'll get you on. But yeah, it was a rough Thursday. It was a real rough Thursday. Uh, a good night's sleep. Well, I didn't actually get a good night's sleep, but it rectified itself overnight, so I could be happier. And all is good now. And Jim, I am so glad that that the show went well for you. More than happy to have done it. Oh, one sub, yeah, yeah, yeah. And thanks, guys, for doing that. I really appreciate you guys looking out for me as well. Because as you know, doing something like this, I'm a one-man band, and you can't catch them all. So having you guys in my corner means everything. I mean, it literally means everything. Having you guys show up for the show means everything. So yeah, and I do have kind of the ability to screen, right? So, but I did open his mic, and he didn't take yeah, he didn't. Yeah, oh no, no, no. You absolutely should, absolutely should. Even if it's careful, Jim. You know, I'll hopefully I'll catch it in time, and then I'll really be scrutinizing whomever decided to pop in. Like I said, I try to do that anyway. It's virtually impossible to do on a regular basis, but yeah, I try to do that no matter what. Sorry, didn't mean to cough in your head. That sounded really loud in my head, my earbuds. Yeah, and so Jim, I haven't heard from Bob yet, so have him either call me or email me. I saw yours. I saw your email, by the way. It just came in during the storm, and I wasn't able to. And I'm not talking about an outdoor storm. It just came in during the storm, so I wasn't able to address it. Sorry. So what do we talk about tonight? Let me run a couple ideas past you guys. I don't really want to become one of those, hey, let's grow your channel sort of channels. What is that? Is that a vortex I just created there? But but I thought it would be fun to hello GPTA. Stepped away for a minute. There's Jim Wallace. How you doing, man? How you doing? But yeah, I thought it would be fun to call up and kind of go over someone's channel if they so choose. And it is a good way to get exposure. I know I'm just a couple hundred subs at the moment, but surely that's going to change. Home of the Indianapolis 500. And you know what, Jim? In my fervor to talk about that subject, somebody jumped on, and I didn't finish out all of my. Oh, I wonder what Dole Whip Dad did. I didn't finish out my Indiana. Oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah, caps. I'm gonna have to lower the restriction on caps. Sorry about that, Dole Whip Dad. But yeah, I was going to talk about the Indy 500. I absolutely was going to talk about the Indy 500. In fact, I'll do it now as we wait for the next caller, because as we know, the video lines are again open. Headshot. So feel free to call in. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Indianapolis 500 because it is by far the main draw to Indianapolis, right? And it has been for over 100 years. It's a wonderful place. It's so ingrained in and look, I got the state over my shoulder. It's so ingrained in the culture here in Indianapolis that it becomes almost like that second home you go to. Back when I was a kid, we actually had senior skip day. Maybe I did cover some of this. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, Champworks Garage. It used to be the entire month of May. For some of us old timers that were around then, used to be the entire month of May, and high schools all over the area, mainly the greater Central Indiana area. With crap, Dad makes me watch. How you doing, man? Is this your first? Is this your first live show? I don't remember I've seen you in here before. Now I know that we met on other channels, but thanks for coming in, guy. But yeah, it was the entire month of May, and schools from around would have senior skip days, and of course you'd spend out all day there. And I bet I did talk about this because now that I think about it, this is so familiar. But we do things that high school kids weren't supposed to do, and just have a great old time. In fact, I've got a picture of me. See, this is back in the day before the infield fence and before the infield track. The only thing in the infield was a whole bunch of grass, of course, gasoline alley, and a couple of roads, right? And of course, the golf course. But on the inside of the track, literally, were cut off telephone poles. That's the only thing keeping you from the asphalt, the actual racetrack. Now, granted, it was 50 to I can't remember how many yards it was away, 50 to 75 yards away from the actual track. But you're in the infield and you park right up to it, and boom, they're right in front of your face. Well, I got a picture of me that the local newspaper, the Indianapolis News, took of people getting crazy out in the infield. In fact, people were puddle diving, and I don't know if you know what puddle diving is, but puddle diving is the rather inane activity of having too much alcohol and jumping into puddles if puddles exist. Yeah. And the photographer caught that. I'm leaning on a post in the background with my fresh cut off shorts. Quick story. This is the only time I did this. It was a nasty early morning, pretty chilly, and standing on my chair to clap. Oh, you give me too much credit, man. You give me too much credit. The behind the scenes is one thing, but you got to pull it up off out front. And what I didn't notice from you, Jim, was any real lulls in the action. I mean, you kept it going. You kept it going, and you could tell you got better as the show went on. I thought it was a great show. So you're welcome again. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, it was a really cold morning one morning when they took that picture. So I wore full jeans. By the mid-afternoon, the sun had come out. It was hotter than hell. It's just humid, and I had a money clip. I don't remember, no bigger than a small Swiss Army knife, but it had scissors in it, and I literally cut off my jeans right there in the infield. That old, mesh back trucker hat. Trucker hat, who wants it? But that was fun. It's always fun. I mean, like I said, the Indianapolis 500 has become such a part of this community. I'm not talking about the YouTube community. I'm talking about Indiana. This one right here. Oh, right there. And yes, that's the same one I was going over when I had my Indiana show, my Hoosier show. You're not going to find a whole lot of Hoosier shows, I'm going to guess. I didn't even look when I decided to do that show. I didn't even look and see what was out there. I just started doing a Hoosier show. I thought, okay, let's talk about being a Hoosier. And that's the thing. It's so weird coming up with content every night. Good Lord, what's the matter with my gut here? Oh, all right, let's jump to another subject. Since it's a free-for-all, let's just make this a total free-for-all. Um, oh, you're going to Carb Day this year. Sweet. Carb Day is cool. I mean, it didn't used to be what it is today. I mean, you didn't have bands. All you had basically was a bit of practice, some actual carb testing, track testing. You had the pit road speed trials competition, which is awesome. My favorite times to go were the two qualification weekends. Yeah. That's cool. 5G, man. 5G. So yeah, it's I can't believe if I didn't talk about it, I apologize. I think I ran out of time, or a guest suddenly popped on, but I apologize because that is a huge part of who we are in the Circle City. You're not in the right zip code? Oh, dude, I hope I am. I'm just southeast of the county, and I mean just southeast of the county. But they don't tend to forget us right out here when it comes to tech and whatnot. Oh, I feel like I can relax just a bit. I did a lot of work before tonight's show. A lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. Look, yeah, Jim, you got to the Jim Wallace. You got to email me, man, and so we can set something up. I'd like to meet you face to face and talk a bit. Maybe we can set up a show for you. Unless you'd like to just pop on, you're more than welcome to pop on. Any of you are actually. How many viewers do we have right now? Is it going to tell me? Peak and current 9. Oh, cool. I'll take that. It's growing. That's the best thing. Our viewership is growing, and it's all thanks to people like you. Make sure you click that like button and share it out. Share it out to your tribe. Let's get some more people in here. So I'm dying to try out my new thingamajig. I'm just not gonna tell you what it is. Robert Stan, how you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Welcome back to the show. Yeah, well, can you tell mine is too? A little scratchy tonight. It's I don't think I'm under the weather, but I tell you, I had some, and this isn't chiropractor related. I had some aches and pains today that I was like, oh, I'm just kind of achy, and this has been kind of coming and going of late. I'm hoping beyond all hope that it's actually a sickness. It just happens to be. Oh man, and I'm trying to. This was really weird. I'm not a weak guy at all. So, but I'm trying to uh, put my brad nailer on my air hose, and it was tough. It was it was literally tough. Yeah, well, if you come on the show, this is a wonderful thing. You can come on the show and interact with me, and if I am sick, I'm not contagious through here. Nope. We're all gonna survive. Uh, hopefully. Oh, how many of you? Um, I don't know. Type in one if you actually saw my standby and ended up going over to the muscle car appraisal show. Just type in a one and let me know because I know a couple of you. Mitten Dad's isn't on here. He was one of them. I'm gonna go to live chat. Do you guys sit on live chat or not? Oh, did I? You know what I didn't do? I didn't listen to you guys on whether or not you thought visiting channels and talking about what they could do. Keep in mind that in addition to video production and live streaming, I also have a vast background in graphic arts and web design. So when I look at a channel, see, I haven't changed my channel, but maybe just a tiny bit since Nick took a look at it, and he didn't Niman, and he didn't look at it for very long because I'm supposed to know that sort of stuff. So I went through it. I did change my thumbnails, but I'm changing my thumbnails to see which ones are working better than the others. Get a little bit of static here. What's going on? You're gonna have a high enough attack on there. No, that's not it. That's not it either. That's funny. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I honestly worry about my mixer over here. It's about 8 years old. This old XR, and it's sometimes it does funky things. I upgraded the firmware after I talked to you last, Yeah, I know people really do. Dole Whip Dad's right. People really do love people looking at their channel. Um, but I thought it would be a nice little addition, something that we could do, and not one of those, hey, support this, because we all see. Here's the thing, and this is another show that I want to do is when I go on those live streams, and I think I've said this before. I don't go on it to S for S because that's just a kiss of death, and it's empty calories as far as I'm concerned. What I like to do is I like to if somebody is kind enough to subscribe to my channel, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and look at their channel, and I'm going to see if the content that they're putting out appeals to me at all. It could just be that I really enjoy their editing. It could be that I enjoy the subject matter. They could just be a great person and trying to do everything they can. I know that, what is it? Stacy Watch Us Grow. I mean, I don't see myself as having a green thumb, but I started watching her videos, and it was really interesting to me how she was presenting herself to the camera. And I know I don't look at the camera as much as I should, but she wasn't looking at it at all. And it was all misconception. She thought when she looked at the viewfinder and was looking at herself, she was looking at the camera. Well, that camera's over here, right? Just above the earpiece. If you're looking at your phone while you're doing your video, and that can be the total difference between people looking at you and think, oh, I dig this content, and something's wrong. She's like talking past me. She took my advice, and I think it made a world of difference. So I'll subscribe to channels like that without question. But if somebody's doing something really strange and I wouldn't say wrong, because I don't think there is a wrong based on your whatever your goals are. But if they're doing something really strange or just not my cup of tea, then I don't tend to. And if they unsubscribe to me, that's fine. Um, it's really kind of a way to know that they were looking for an S for S, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's sub for sub. So even though if you guys want to go look at each other's channels, that is absolutely fine. But what we're trying to do is make sure that nobody says sub for sub. Uh, are, are you talking about this, Jim Snowy? Because I don't think it put me to sleep. At any rate, we're not looking to, we don't want to see subbed or S for S, I supported you, you support me, just have a regular conversation. Jack, how you doing, man? How you doing? Did you take that job? I know you said it might be difficult to balance the two, but I'd really love to know if you took the job, man. I've got to open up another tonight. Tonight's show is not brought to you by A&W Cream Soda. So I'm not going to tell you how smooth Diet Cream Soda. I am not going to mention how smooth and wonderful it is going down. One of these days, one of these companies is going to approach me and say, hey, I noticed you drink Diet A&W root beer. Would you mind? Well, if you mention that every show, then I'm going to totally sell out. Logitech's going to call me, so I'll have to put Velcro and have my mouse up on my hat or something. Trust Logitech, We're all slaves to the brands, man. We are all slaves to the brands. You guys have made me talk for half an hour. I'm running out of shit to say. Oh, I can't be like Cab 7, man. Cab 7 just he knows, or Wacky or any of those guys. They just know what to do. I'm also going to, one of these days, I almost did it tonight. Is open at wide open. And I mean wide open. Anybody who wants to call it. And of course, we're going to need more chat participants. So do as Jim said, like it and share it. No, Dole Whip Dad, I use vMix. Would you like to see the interface? I can show you the interface. It's going to look weird because it's going to go into infinity, but no, there's the interface. That's what I'm using right now. Right now. Right now. This what you see here is preview. Over there, whoops, I'm sorry. Over there is program. Now everything's backwards. But I've been using vMix for about the last, oh, what'd you say, Jack? I'm also volunteering for more social media opportunities. I volunteered to help schedule and upload Facebook posts for businesses. Then they offered me a volunteer direct marketing role instead. That's awesome. If you see that may turn into a regular gig, right? A full-time job, if you decide you like it, that's so cool, dude. That is so cool. Congrats. Yep, yep. Yeah, see, it's one thing to schedule and upload Facebook posts. It's a whole other one to be a direct marketing um, individual. That's cool. Very cool. Oh, it's called vMix. Here, let me Dole Whip Dad asked me what it's called. It's literally vMix. And you can go to vmix.com. They've got a free version, but it's somewhat limited. You have a certain number of inputs. What you see here is just a crap ton of inputs, right? See all those blue boxes over here? That is just there's text in there. There's video clips. I've got a whole bunch of scenes put together that I can choose. Like if I want somebody comes on via audio only, that's what you would see. And this would be the guest shot, special guest. You see, so there's just I've been going overboard on that. Yeah, and you can't substitute experience, Jack. So soak it up while you can, man. Soak it up while you can. Um, and I tell you that from as a former employer myself. I've actually done a whole lot of Arthur Moorhead. How you doing? Uh, I know, and it looks horrible. It really does look horrible, but it's not as bad as you think, Arthur. But anyway, Jack. I've seen the resumes that just had, hey, I'm just fresh out of school, and I was in this club, that club, and that the other club. But when you say that you've interned here, doing this, and I volunteered here, and they put me in this role, I mean those are resume pads, man, and you can't discount resume pads. Yeah, even Snowy is saying that they kept asking her back, and you know why they kept asking her back? I know why, because she did a good job. Absolutely did a good job. Or she's lying to us and she's sexy as hell. No, I'm kidding. Jack says, I also got some feedback from the boss at the marketing agency I'm interning at. It's not that good. Oh, well, hey, it's room for improvement. I mean, you don't know what people are thinking until they write that down. Well, here's the thing, Dole Whip Dad. OBS is fine and free. The reason I love vMix is because there are a lot more things you can do with vMix, honestly. Um, but having said that, OBS is just fine. World's best copy and pasted. Just a second, Robert. I'll answer that question. Um, but yeah, vMix. They've got vMix Call. You've got so many NDI options. You've got so many overlays. You've got stingers. Here, let me go back to that and see if you can see the input screen. Look at all these different inputs. DVD list. You can run lists. All different types of cameras, both hard coded. Um, then you stream cameras. So I can literally control my cameras via via vMix. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All I got to do, oh, here, better yet, let me just show you the interface again. So, kabam. So if I double click on the camera, and I hope you guys can see that, but this is my PTZ controls. You see, I can move the camera automatically anytime that I so choose. I can have presets. So what you just saw when I went back to normal was a preset. Whoops. And and there's just a lot more you can do with vmix than you can OBS. And the reason that I have it is because I was doing this professionally, and and I was until my back just went out on me. In that, I would take my production PC. And you guys saw my equipment video. And if you haven't, go back and look at it. Um, I've got my production PC running vmix, but all my cameras run power over Ethernet. So all I have to do is run one Ethernet cable out to each one of the Pantel Zoom cameras, and then I can control them right in vmix, right from this location right here. I don't have to have cameramen. I don't have to jack with, running around and moving cameras where I want them to be during the show. So I can have presets. Think of this. If you were looking right now at a panel of like 5 people, there's 2 people on either side of me. I can literally point the camera to guest 1, lock in that preset. Pan the camera over to guest 2, lock in that preset. Center guy, that guy, that guy. And then during the show, when that guy talks, I just click on his face, and it will literally goes just right back to that location. And then, I jump off my wide shot, and bam, it's right on there. Okay, but enough about vmix. vmix, like I said, is free. And I think the lowest paid version, and it's a one-time, it's not a cloud thing, which is great. I think the lowest paid version is like 300, and the most expensive is like 1,200. And of course, doing it professionally, I had to go all out, which gives me 4K capabilities and just a multitude of inputs. It's just, it's just what I needed. So it's not for everybody. But there's also a vmix call. I could literally publish a number, and you could put that in your phone. You go to what is it? I think it's call.vmix.com, something like that. Put in that number, and I can take your camera live. Does anybody want to try that? Suicide 6, how are you? Robert Stanton, is it fairly easy to learn? It's I would say it's no more difficult than OBS. Seriously. It looks more complicated, but it is no. I mean, think of it. When you look at that screen, you're only talking about this is the preview, and this is the program, and it looks horrible because we're looking at an infinity of images, and all these down here are your inputs. You see them? Just like you could almost call them scenes, as they are in OBS. Okay. Lee Chun Igar. Hey, Lee Chun Igar. How you doing? Shout out. Suicide 6 says hello. Let's see. Oh, okay. 60 for basic. Okay. Yeah, the free version, $60 for basic. Then it goes up to HD, 150. And this is a one-time thing where you get a full year of updates. And they continually update this thing. And then as you move up the ladder, I don't think that upgrades are subsequently higher. So I don't think it's 100 or $90 for your next upgrade from basic to HD. But don't quote me on that. You'll have to go to the vmix site and find out for sure. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. Let me go back to your message because I missed that. The boss said I was doing good work and have good work ethic, but I'm just not that confident. That's okay. That comes with age for a lot of people. She said I talk too little. Yeah. It's because it's a team of girls. It makes everything so awkward. Yeah, but look at the experience you got. I mean, the next time, did I just slobber? The next time, Jack, that you find yourself in an office with a majority of women, you're going to find yourself more comfortable. And like I said, if you're smiling, making or asking questions, and eventually adding your input based on your experience, it's going to be so much easier. The one thing you got to remember is they're just people. Here I am doing this show, and I'm your classic introvert, right? I'm like, normally I'm just working on shit. I'm just like, I just and I tune out the rest of the world. So so you just look past it. So when I look at you guys, I think, well, these are just people. They're just people like me. It's the old adage, puts his pants on the same way I do, one leg at a time. So there's no reason to be intimidated as long as you stay within your intellectual framework. Don't try to be smarter than you really are, because that can really trip you up. What you do is you ask questions so that you can become smarter than you are currently. I mean, it's and that takes away intelligence and experience, removes a great deal of the apprehension, as I'm sure you're feeling. I would say, yeah. I mean, asking questions is certainly talking, but getting involved in the conversation as well. And if you've got suggestions to make, then make them. You know, there's one thing about and Jack, you're a young guy, so I'm gonna lay it to that level. I'm saying most of the time. Oh, ow. um, where was I going with that? Oh, crap, I had it. Oh, should I talk more on the next time? Uh, I don't know. I'm stymied by Suicide Six. I'm just curious as to what he did. But anyway, yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. Oh, now I know exactly what I was talking about. When you get into an office environment, the one thing you have to remember is that most office environment friendship is a very short-lived thing. If unless you're there for 30, 40 years, it is, well, don't try to think about what to say, Jack, when you're talking to folks. Um, just whenever that thought comes in your head, like you're listening to their conversation, and surely you don't want to get involved in if it's some sort of relationship conversation. But if it's business related, and that's probably what your boss was talking about, and you're thinking, why don't we do it this way? And you would literally pipe up and you say, well, I had a thought. We're doing this, but it might work out a little bit better this way. What do you think? You see, and that's how you become more communicative. That's a word I always had trouble with, and I just nailed it. It was graphic. Oh, jeez. It come to trolls, but that's what I got you guys for, man. That's what I got you guys for. You'll get better, Jack. Just don't beat yourself up about hesitating. And remember, there are no stupid questions. The only stupid question is the ones that aren't asked. So, and the more you learn, the more the answers to those questions will help you form, thoughts as to what to say, and you won't even think about it after a while. Crap, my dad makes me watch, listen, reflect. Is this dad, or is this the subject of your videos? Crap, my dad makes me watch. I gotta know. Because I was answered by dad, I think. I was serious though. I think you guys ought to check out Crap. My dad makes me watch. They're the one I watched was the movie review, and it was one of the Asgard, Loki, oh, Thor movies. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Where are we at here? 10:44. It's 10:44 Eastern Standard Time. Do you know where your kids are at? Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. I can't say, Jack, that I'm a Doctor Who fan necessarily. I've seen a couple, but yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be a great series. See, I have such a problem with series because it gets me locked into something that I don't know that I'm going to get as much out of. Well, Doldad, you can have a good evening. Thanks so much for coming by. Like I said, I live as often as I can on weeknights, sometimes on the weekend, and I even try to make other shows. I was on Canadian Drone Hub the other day, and even created a playlist. And that's the thing, guys. That is the thing. When you come on the show, I cut it out as a guest. I cut out all this, this relatively useless banner of mine, and give you your own platform. That way, you can actually create a playlist on your channel and use it as more content. I mean, who doesn't want to know? I mean, if you look at my crappy trailer video, that was an attempt to let people get to know me, and it was done a long time ago, so and it needs to be redone. But it is definitely um, a the goal was to have people get to know me, and if you're able to come on here and I ask you a few questions, where are you from, what do you hope to do, and what's your goals? Wow, I forgot to turn down this light. No wonder it's blinding me in here. Oh, that's so much better. Midway through, now I've got to change my thumbnail. No, I'm just kidding. But um, using that on your own channel is just a way for people to get to know you, and like I said before, those people that I want to get to know, I'll subscribe to. So it makes all the sense in the world to me. I ought to start streaming on my Facebook page. I just don't because it eats up so much CPU, and not only that, but Facebook, get your shit together. They you can't do an individual or an automatic live stream. You've got to do an individual stream. So I literally have to start 2 streams, time it out right. Oh, they're just not making it easy. Are we still talking about Doctor Who? Oh, yeah, I will, Jack. I absolutely will. In fact, I will open your channel now. So when I jump off the air, I'll take a look at that, my friend. I will absolutely take a look at that. I want to make sure that how I know I've subscribed to you. There's an instance where I definitely subscribed to Jack, and then I just came back and it said I wasn't subscribed. That's some crap right there. Yeah, I'll look at that. I'll look at that, Jack. Yeah, CPU and a memory hog, which is one of the reasons I decided to go with Zoom, because like right now, I'm literally using 45% of my CPU, and I've got Zoom open. I've got my vMix. I'm running the mixer, and and you know it's running my cameras. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Let's see. What I was. Oh, so do you guys think I should do that? What was I doing before? I don't think I can get Firefox on here. I tried the other day and it just. Oh, I can't get Chrome, and it just hated me for it. So let's open up Firefox and see if I can't get it on there. No, for some reason I can't. I have to find out why I can't use Firefox as a source anymore. But that just blows me away. It was all good not too long ago. I tell you, there's so much that goes into this, and you've got to be right on top of it. Timing is everything. Technology is everything. One of these days, I'm going to do another equipment tour, because now I've got those of you who've been to Pusa recently. You would on Facebook? Yeah, you probably would. Oh, well, there went. Okay, that's funny. All right. Well, Zoom has made the decision for us. I am not going to keep you guys any longer. I aside from the butt show that I had earlier, I got to catch up on some sleep. But besides that, I've had a good time. I didn't get a chance to try out my new thing. Not going to do it until I get another guest on. So you guys got to be ready next week to jump on. I don't care. We'll talk about anything. That's you know how it is on this show. We'll talk about anything. First and foremost, I want to get to know you guys. But if you've got a subject matter that you'd like to chit chat about, I am all ears and eyes. All right. So, oh, you're welcome, Robert. You're absolutely welcome. Thanks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. But I think I'm going to cut this one a bit. I still have some recoup to do, and we all know how that is. I got a busy weekend ahead of me. Kitchen's almost done. The appliances get here next Wednesday. So looking forward to that. But for now, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. We'll be back Monday. So and maybe over the weekend, keep that bell ring so you can see when I go live. Try not to ever do that last minute cancellation if so possible. Sometimes things happen though. So like I said, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to leave you with this. Make sure that you treat others as though you want to be treated. If everyone did that, the world would be a better place, and I would appreciate it. Thanks everyone, and we will see you live